The Sierra Nevada foothills held their breath under a September sun that baked the earth into silence. Dust hung in the air like flowers sifted through cheesecloth, settling on everything. Wagon wheels, boot leather, the brim of Cole Brennan's hat as he stood at the edge of the auction platform. He had not come here by choice. Loneliness was not something a man admitted, not out loud, not in a mining camp where weakness got you robbed or worse. But 4 years alone in the claim had worn him down to bone and shadow. His cabin smelled of gunpowder and unwashed wool. His meals were hardtack and jerky, eaten standing. At night, the silence pressed against his chest like a hand. So when the auctioneer's notice appeared tacked to the saloon wall, brides available, Sunday noon, town square, Cole had stared at it for 3 days before tearing it down and folding it into his pocket. Now he stood among 30 other men, most of them older, some drunk, a few with coin pouches hanging heavy at their belts. The women were lined up on a makeshift stage, daughters of failed farmers, widows with nowhere else to go, girls shipped in from back east with promises that rarely held. They stood silent, eyes down, hands folded. The auctioneer, a man with a voice like gravel scraped across tin, gestured to each woman in turn. Bids were called. Money changed hands. Women stepped down and were led away by strangers who would become husbands by sunset. Cole watched it all with a tightness in his jaw, hating the spectacle, hating himself for being part of it. He was about to leave when the last woman stepped forward. She was small, thin. Her dress hung loose on her frame, faded calico that had been mended too many times. A bonnet shadowed her face, but he caught the shape of a sharp chin, pale skin, hands that trembled as she gripped the fabric at her sides. "Last one, gentlemen," the auctioneer barked. "Quiet as a church mouse, this one. Ain't said a word since she arrived. But she's young, healthy enough. Starting bid, $10. Silence. Cole's chest tightened. The girl, woman, whoever she was, stood frozen, her breath visible in the slight rise and fall of her shoulders. No one bid. The auctioneer's face darkened. $10. Come on now. She'll cook, clean, keep a house." Still nothing. Cole felt something crack open inside him. Not desire, not pity exactly, just the unbearable weight of watching another human being stand alone in the sun while a crowd of men looked away. He raised his hand. 10. Heads turned. The auctioneer grinned. "Sold to the man in the back. Come collect your bride, sir." Cole stepped forward, pulled the coins from his pocket, and placed them in the auctioneer's palm. The woman did not look up. Her hands were shaking harder now. "Come on," Cole said quietly. "I've got a wagon." She followed him without a word. The ride back to the claim took 3 hours. Cole tried speaking twice. Both times she said nothing. Just sat beside him on the wagon bench, staring at the dirt road, her bonnet pulled low. By the time they reached the cabin, the sun was sinking behind the ridge, turning the pine trees into black teeth against an orange sky. Cole climbed down, tied the mule, and gestured toward the door. "It's not mud," he said, "but it's dry. There's a stove. Water pump out back." She stepped inside slowly, as if entering a trap. Her eyes swept the room. One table, 2 chairs, a cot in the corner, shelves lined with tins and tools. No curtains, no softness anywhere. Cole set his hat on a nail. "You can take the bed. I'll sleep in the barn." She turned to him then, just for a second. He caught a glimpse of her eyes, wide, dark, terrified. "I'm not," he started, then stopped. "I'm not going to hurt you." She looked away. That night he lay in the barn on a pile of hay, listening to the wind rattle the roof. Inside the cabin, the lamp stayed lit until well past midnight. The first 2 days passed in silence. She did not cook, did not clean, did not speak. She sat by the window, staring out at the trees, her hands folded in her lap like a doll waiting to be wound. Cole worked the claim from dawn until dusk, panning for gold in the freezing creek, hauling rocks, breaking his back for flakes of metal no bigger than his fingernail. When he came back, he'd find her in the same spot. He left food on the table, bread, dried apples. She ate sparingly, only when he wasn't looking. On the third night, he woke to the sound of breathing, not his own. He sat up slowly. The barn door was ajar. Moonlight spilled across the dirt floor, and there, Standing just inside the doorway was the woman. She held a knife, not a kitchen knife, a hunting blade, long and sharp, the kind a man carried when he expected trouble. Her hand was steady, her eyes were locked on his. Cole froze. "Easy," he whispered. She did not lower the blade. He raised his hand slowly, palms out. "I'm not armed." Her jaw tightened. Then in a voice raw and barely audible, she spoke. "If you touch me, I'll kill you." "I know." She blinked. "I won't touch you," Cole said. "I told you that." "Men lie." "Some do." Her grip on the knife wavered, just slightly. "Why did you buy me?" Cole exhaled. "Because no one else would." She stared at him for a long moment. Then slowly, she lowered the blade. "I'm not a woman." The words hung in the air like smoke. Cole's mind stuttered. He looked at her, really looked, at the sharp angles of her jaw, the flatness of her chest beneath the loose dress, the way she stood, weight forward, ready to bolt or fight. "What's your name?" he asked quietly. A pause, then, "Eli." "Eli." "I ran," Eli said, voice shaking now. "My family. They were going to marry me off. To a girl I didn't know. I couldn't." His breath caught. "I couldn't stay. So I left. Took my sister's clothes. Cut my hair. Thought if I looked like this I could disappear. And the auction? I was starving. Thought if someone bought me I'd have a roof. Food. I could figure out the rest later." His eyes met Cole's. "I was wrong." Cole stood slowly, careful not to move too fast. "You're not wrong." Eli's hand tightened on the knife again. "I'm a deserter," Cole said. "Left the army 3 years ago. If they find me, I hang. So I understand running." Silence. "I won't turn you in," Cole continued, "and I won't tell anyone what you are. But I need help. This claim, it's killing me alone. If you work, I'll protect you. No one has to know." Eli's eyes narrowed. "Why would you do that?" "Because," Cole said, "we're both ghosts. Might as well haunt the same house." The agreement was simple. Eli would work the claim, hauling, sorting, panning, while Cole handled the town runs and the heavy labor. To anyone who asked, Eli was Cole's wife, too sick to leave the cabin, too shy to speak. It was a lie that saved both their lives. The first week was brittle. They moved around each other like strangers in a borrowed room. Eli slept in the cabin, Cole in the barn. Meals were eaten in silence, passed across the table without eye contact. But slowly, something shifted. Eli proved stronger than he looked. His hands, small and scarred, knew how to swing a pick, how to sift dirt, how to read the creek for color. He worked without complaint, without rest, as if trying to prove something. Cole watched him sometimes when Eli didn't notice. Watched the way he tilted his head when listening to the wind, the way his jaw set when frustrated, the way he laughed. Once, just once, when a squirrel stole bread from the porch. One night after supper, Eli spoke without prompting. "My real name was Eliza. They called me that until I was 16. Then I told them I wasn't." He stared into the fire. "They didn't believe me. Said I was possessed. Tried to beat it out of me." Cole's fists clenched beneath the table. "So I ran," Eli continued. "Took nothing but the clothes and a knife. Been running ever since." "You don't have to run anymore," Cole said quietly. Eli looked at him, something unreadable in his eyes. "You don't know that?" "I do." 3 months passed. The claim began to yield. Not much, never much, but enough to buy flour, coffee, lamp oil, enough to keep them alive. The town saw them once a month when Cole rode in for supplies. He always went alone. Eli stayed hidden, dressed in men's clothes now, chopping wood or mending tools. They spoke more. Not a lot, but enough. Eli told Cole about his sister, who had helped him escape. Cole told Eli about the war, about the order he refused to follow, about the friends he left behind. They did not touch, did not need to. The bond between them was built on something older than desire, survival, trust, the shared weight of secrets too heavy to carry alone. One evening, as snow began to fall, Eli sat by the fire and said, "Thank you." Cole looked up from sharpening his axe. "For what?" For not making me pretend to be something I'm not. Cole set the axe down. You're not pretending here. Eli smiled. A real one. Rare as gold. But peace in the West was always temporary. The man arrived on a gray horse in early spring. He wore a long coat, a badge pinned to his chest, and eyes that missed nothing. Name's Marshall Kane, he said when Cole answered the door. Looking for two people, a deserter named Cole Brennan and a runaway named Eliza Hartwell. Cole's blood turned to ice. Ain't seen either, he said evenly. Kane's eyes drifted past him into the cabin. Mind if I look around? I do. The marshal smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. I'll be back. When Kane rode away, Cole shut the door and turned. Eli stood in the corner, face pale, knife in hand. We have to run, Eli whispered. I know. They left that night, took only what they could carry, food, blankets, two horses, and the small pouch of gold they'd saved. No goodbyes, no looking back. They rode north into the mountains where the trees grew thick and the law grew thin. For 3 days they moved in silence, listening for hoofbeats behind them. On the 4th day, they found a valley, green, hidden, a creek cutting through the center like a vein of silver. Cole dismounted, looked at Eli. This could work. Eli slid from his horse, boots sinking into soft earth. He looked around, at the trees, the water, the endless sky, and for the first time in his life he exhaled. No one knows us here, Eli said. No one needs to. They built a cabin, small, rough, but theirs. No auctioneer, no marshal, no family demanding they be something they were not. Just two ghosts, finally allowed to be human. Years later, a trapper passing through the valley would tell a story about two men living alone in the woods. Brothers, he thought, or maybe just friends. They didn't talk much, he said, but when one laughed, the other smiled. And when winter came, they chopped wood side by side, moving like two parts of the same body. No one believed him. The West was full of strange stories, but in that hidden valley where the creek ran cold and the pines stood tall, Cole and Eli built a life that belonged to no one but them. Not man, not woman, not husband, not wife. Just two souls who had bought their freedom with silence and paid for it with trust. And in the end, that was enough.